What's going on YouTube? Embo's back with another video for you guys, and today, as you can tell by the title, I'm going to tell you a story about how I almost got jumped. Well, I didn't almost, like, kids wanted to jump me, so I didn't really almost get, well, I kind of did because they thought, I'll tell you the story. So this all stems back to like, I want to say like 8th grade freshman year, maybe, somewhere around there. I can't really remember, it was so long ago, but there was these two brothers. And my friends, and I hung out with a lot of my friends back in the day. Like, I was always over their house, whatever. And for some reason, these kids didn't like me and my other friend. I can't remember which friend it was, but they didn't like us. They were brothers, you know what I mean? They were 1 year older than us, and they didn't like us for whatever reason. And I can never figure out why. Like, it was just one of those things where I guess, you know how you, like, look at someone, you're like, I don't fucking like this person. Like, you can just get a weird vibe. And everyone's like that. I'm sure everyone has done that before. And for some reason, they didn't like us. My friends that lived by them would always tell me, Marcus, these people don't like you, whatever. Like, they were talking shit about you. And back then, I'm like, I'm so in my own world. Like, all I want to do is play video games and hang out. Like, I didn't give a fuck. Like, you don't like me, cool. Like, I don't care. So we were going to the same school at the time, and they would always, like, my friends would always tell me that, yo, they want to jump you, they want to fight you, and all this stuff. I'm like, I can't think of a reason why they would want to do that. So back then, anyway, my goal was to go home right after school. Like, I wanted to get home, and I was playing on PS3 at the time. I wanted to get home, hit COD 4 pubs, hit World at War pubs. I was just grinding. I didn't give a fuck about any other bullshit going on. And to give you guys a vibe of what kind of kid I was back then, my friends all got, I've been in like 1 or 2 fights my whole life. I got into like a good amount of arguments where we were like about to fight, but I never, like, I don't know why people get this vibe about me where I'm like always like I fought people. Like, no, I've been in like 1 or 2 fights my whole life. Yeah, and you, like, back then you could say anything you wanted to me. Nothing was gonna provoke me to hurt you or hit you, or, you know, we can argue, but if you put your hands on me, of course I'm putting back on you. I mean, but you can't say anything to provoke me to hurt you. That's just kind of like, so people would talk shit to me, like those guys would talk shit to me. I didn't care. Like, that's just not what kind of person I was. But if you put your hands on me, that's a different story. Always all words. Like, I'm just like, I'm not beat for this, bro. I'm not doing this arguing thing. We're in high school, we're about to be in I don't remember. You know what I mean? Like, why are we gonna fight? I don't even know why you don't like me. I have no problem with you guys. It was always that. Like, they would, like, literally every time they saw me at the park or something, they try to follow us, or, you know what I mean? And it got to that point where it was just getting weird now. And I'm not the fighting type, honestly. I'm really not. Like, I'm not gonna go out of my way to fight you. There's no reason for it. So I try to avoid it as best as possible. They didn't like me and my friends, so I'm like, they would always tell my other friends, like, we're gonna get them, all this stuff. I'm like, okay, like, I'm waiting. They'd always see me in the schoolyard regardless. But there was this one time, and obviously you guys never see my mom, never met her. My mom and my dad aren't together. My dad lives in another city, but I can't even talk. But my mom has a boyfriend or fiance. They've been together for like over 10 years. So, I mean, like I said, him and my dad get along, all that stuff. But he obviously lived with me at the time. It was 10 years ago. One day, one specific day, like I said, me and these two would always see each other. We'd look at each other. I'd stare at them. They'd stare at me. And I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, what's the issue? Like, I don't understand it. So there was this one specific day where it all stemmed from, this is the day where, like, it all came out. Like, this is when it came out. Like, I was ready. So my stepdad, he and my mom, they do not play, like, and specifically with school. Like, I cannot get suspended from school. My mom did not play any. She let me do whatever the hell I want. But when it came to school, like, she did not play any type of games. Literally no games. Stepdad was always that kind of guy. He's like, if they touch you, Mark, you handle what you got to do. Like, you know what I mean? He was always that kind of, like, encouraging guy. Like, if something happens, you handle your business. You do what you got to do, all this stuff. I'm like, all right. There was this one specific day that I was trying to get to. I actually remember this. So we were coming out of school late because my class was talking. And because they were 1 grade ahead of us, so they were already out there. And I see the kid, and I see his brother, and we're literally, like, we walk right by each other. We're, like, staring at each other like this. I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm walking home, and there's literally a crowd of people following me. These guys are, like, running across the street trying to, like, trap me in and stuff. So my house was really close to the school at the time. So me and my friend go to the house. We're running up there, and my mom's looking out the window. She's like, Mark, why the fuck are all these kids on the street? And my stepdad was there, and I'm like, fuck, man. Like, he's not going to play any games. He's not playing any games with these kids. So he's like, Mark, were they following you? Those are the kids? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, all right, we're going outside. I'm like, oh my God. All right. So my stepdad opens the door. And we go outside. He's like, which one wants to fight my fucking son? Which one of you guys? And he was like, which one is it, Mark? And I pointed them both out. He's like, come here. Walk up to them, and we're face to face at this time. He's like, you want to fight my fucking son? Let's go right now. And I'm not ready. I'm like sitting there. I'm like, how do I just hit the kid? Like, do I start this? Or how does it work? They're like, no, we don't got any problems with him. We weren't doing nothing, right? So he's like, you sure? Like, you want to fight my fucking son? Let's go, right? And I'm just sitting there ready. He's like, and we're literally just standing at each other. They're saying, no, we don't want no problems, because my stepdad is a pretty big African American guy. You know, he's kind of he's not tall, but he has a wide figure. Like, he's not fat or anything. Like, he's in shape, but he's just a wider guy. Like, his arm, he's broad. You know what I mean? So he's pretty intimidating. And they didn't have any problem with me. So I'm like, what the like, come on, man. Like, you're gonna follow me home, potentially try to jump me, like, by my house, and, like, when my stepdad comes outside, you don't have any problems with me? Like, me and my friend were out there, my stepdad was telling me to fight the other kid. He's like, right now, let's go. The kids didn't want to do it. And, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not the fighting type. In the back of my head, I'm scared. Like, you know what I mean? I'm about to get into a fight. Like, I'm nervous as hell. Like, I don't want to do this, but my stepdad's outside. I'm not going to say, no, I don't want to fight him. Like, he's going to look at me like, what? Like, you know what I mean? So I'm just in the back of my head, like, please don't want to fight me. Like, I'm not doing this right now, whatever. And they backed down. I was like, in the back of my head, I'm like, fucking thank you. Like, thank God. So the next day, I go to school. Same thing. I'm coming out, and I see the two kids by the flagpole. So he's literally just standing there. So I'm walking by, and in the back of my head, I'm just like, you know what? Just say something to the kid. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's old now. This is, like, immature. So I go up to him. Well, not go up to him. We're periodically walking by each other. So I said to him, I'm like, do we have a problem? Like, still, like, I don't understand. And he was like, nah, we never had a problem. Like, everything's cool, bro. We shook hands, and that was it. And I was just, like, confused I'm like, because 100,000%, guys, like, I know for sure they were, like, trying to get at me and my friend. Like, they wanted to do things to us, like, for sure. Like, that was no doubt in my mind. But I guess when my stepdad went out there, like, flipped everything around. Like, I'm kind of glad it kind of went that way. Because now, well, not now, but, like, back then, I'd see him after that. They'd be like, what's up? Shake my hand, both of them. Like, it was no problems after that. So I'm assuming my stepdad got him scared. Like, he held it down. Shout out to my stepdad. So I got some cool stories as a kid, man. Let me know if you guys want to hear more of these, because I honestly really enjoy telling the stories. And I don't know if you guys like them or not. I haven't really posted one in a while, so give me some feedback. Let me know what you guys want. I'll drop whatever. You let me know. You got it. And I'll see you guys later. Remember to drop a like. Peace out, my boys.